Well, you might be wondering how you're going to fill your time. We know that there are certain countries around the world right now that are in mandatory 21-day lockdowns. So you're in the house. There's not much you can do. And being that the exam is delayed all the way to December, maybe you're just tired of studying, especially studying now that it's 8.5 months away. Now that maybe you want to wait a little bit longer. Well, what are we going to do? For those of you who are not subscribers to my site, you can register for free. There is free content, and I'll show you what's there in a moment. And if you don't have a study planner and you want a really detailed study planner, one that we constantly update with new algorithms to try to adapt more to your study patterns, you can click right here on Study Planner. We don't collect a lot of information, by the way, just enough for you to log in. So we need a first name, last name, your email address. You'll confirm your email address and your password. That's all. That's it. It's that easy. You can read the terms and conditions for the free content. They don't really apply too much to you. Click I have read, and then you start your free trial. Let's see what free content you have here. This is what you'll see when you're logged in. And if you look down the side menu here, you'll find a tab for documentaries. You'll find a tab for book recommendations. And if you click on My Videos, we've itemized all of the Level 1 2017 videos that are on YouTube. We've organized them all by playlist, so if you find it more useful to use the site to organize your learning, feel free. It's the same YouTube videos from 2017. They're there. There is some free Level 2 content that is on YouTube as well, and some free Level 3 content that is on YouTube that's no longer valid for what we're doing, but it's there. Let's have a look at the documentaries, and if you are interested in documentaries about finance and economics, I think we've aggregated across the web probably the deepest content in documentaries available. So you can just scroll down and you can see the sheer number of documentaries that we put out there. This one is really interesting, by the way. The Inventor is a really good one. It's about Theranos and the girl who started Theranos. Really good. This is a good one as well, Rogue Trader, and it's a movie with Ewan McGregor. And you just keep scrolling down, and we have a lot. So there's a lot that you can go through. There's some really good ones under where are they? If we could scroll down, Talks at Google, and there are a lot that we've organized here as well. This one here is really interesting as well, Wall Street Warriors, and we've got the full 3 seasons of Wall Street Warriors on here. By the way, as you're watching it, there is a girl here. See if you can guess who that girl is. She's become very, very famous, and as you're watching it, see if you can figure out who she is. At the very bottom here, you'll see interesting courses. Click on interesting courses, and we've aggregated some really interesting courses from across the web as well. Finance Theory 1 for MIT. This is fixed income. Here's a course for private equity from Wharton. How to win Texas Hold'em. I thought, if you want to learn how to play poker, right? This is MIT. Investment philosophies. This is Demoterin, really big name in valuation and corporate finance. Here's his valuation undergrad class. Here's his corporate finance class as well. If you want some econometrics, this one is really detailed and very long, but broken down into small little videos. Finance theory, UCI. This is Math of Finance, financial models. This is really interesting. John Searle, Philosophy of Mind. It's just more like a podcast. It's this whole course. Really interesting if you're into that kind of stuff. And then one that I've done here, Options, Futures, and Other Derivatives. This is John Hull book. If you're into management accounting, I've done one as well. And then Capitalism. And there's some good episodes in here on this one. The one I recommend is, if I can find it here, right here, guest lecture, Jim Alexander, Managing the Crooked E. This one is really good. This is one of the people who had worked at Enron, I think the CFO who had worked at Enron, who quit because he knew what was going on, and he explains exactly how everything was being set up and what was going on. So that one is a really great one. So that's all there for free. If you're a paid subscriber, you have access to all that as well. Not only that, for the paid side, you have the Applied Market series, which has two series in there. There's one series that I did, and then Ben Felix's series as well, and I've got 10 hours of content there. There's another 8 hours here. If you have an archive, a full archive, whether it be level 1, level 2, or level 3 archive, we've gone ahead and added the Applied Market series to all the archives. There was always a question of, when are we going to make the Applied series available? And I haven't had time to really update it very much, because it does take a lot to do each one of these videos. It takes a lot of research and a lot of note-taking to put it together, to hold together nicely. But we didn't know what we were going to do with it, so we've just opened it up, and anybody who had an archive now has it available to them if you have the full archive. And speaking of the archives, if you're a level 2 candidate on our site, if you're a subscriber to our site, and you're new to using us, if it's the first time you've ever used us at level 2, and you have some holes in your knowledge at level 1 and you'd like to go back to level 1 and review, because now you can. Now you can go back to level 1 and just review some sections. If you go to pricing and subscription and click on level 2, you can add the 2019 archive. This is all the full-length videos from 2019 for level 1. You can add the archive for 65 Canadian, and then you might want to review some of the videos in quant. Maybe you might want to review some of the fixed income videos. You might be a little rusty in certain areas, and you always had it in your mind that you were going to go back and review. Well, now look at this. Now you have time. If you were a level 3 subscriber and you're new to us and you haven't used us at level 2 and you'd like to go back and fill in some of your holes in your knowledge at level 1 and level 2, you can add the 2019 level 2 archive for 100 Canadian, and you can add the 2019 level 1 archive for 65 Canadian. You got to be a level 2 subscriber to add a level 1 archive, and you have to be a level 3 subscriber to add a level 1 and a level 2 archive. Once you're done and you're a full charter holder, you'll find that each year you can upgrade your archives to the most recent, or at least the year behind content, so that you can satisfy your continuing education credits, and that you always have your library there, your full video library of level 1, 2, and 3 to always refer back to, because you may need to refresh on a particular model, or you may be looking at private real estate and you might say, there was a whole reading on that at level 2. Let me go review that video just to get up to speed on what I need to be looking at. So anyways, there you go. For free content, we've got lots of documentaries. I mean, if you want to pass just the next 2 weeks watching documentaries, we got enough there to fill 2 weeks full time. And then if you go to the interesting courses, there's another full 2 weeks there of content, of interesting content, if you're looking for novelty and something new. If you're looking for something more cerebral, the book recommendation list has a whole bunch of interesting books. I haven't updated this very much because I haven't had a chance to read too many books, but there's about 5 or 6 more that I'm going to add. Somebody had asked me for a very good textbook on REITs. And there really isn't a great textbook on REITs, but I will add the best one that I found, and I think it's in its 3rd edition, but I'll add the best one that I found out there. This is a really interesting one here, Knowledge and the Wealth of Nations. I like that one. This is interesting as well, Manias, Panics, and Crashes, because, well, what are we going through now, right? And there's a whole bunch of interesting ones. Black Swan, I think, is sort of standard reading in this space. Everyone refers to the Black Swan. That's really interesting. My Life as a Quant, especially if you're at level 2. If you've gone through the fixed income, you'll find a lot of what he says here related to fixed income, and he is one of the designers of one of the models that you use in level 2. So something to read. This is really great. It's from the 80s. Pitbull. He is a trader, a professional trader. But it's dated. It's from the 80s, but you can see exactly what his life is like as he goes through his day. Yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, so if you want to spend some time on the site for free, lots of good stuff there. If you're a subscriber, a level 2, level 3 subscriber, and you're deciding to take the next couple of months off before you get back to studying, and you felt that, you know what, I got some holes in my knowledge at level 1 and level 2, the archives are always there for you to add on as well. And of course, we have our study planner. So you can click on the study planner, and again, this is free for anybody, and we've updated it so that it's all December now. And since we don't know the date in December, we've just made it December 5th. So if you click on level 2 for December 5th, here you are. You'll start off with your weightings, and there's instructions. The first tab gives you instructions on how to use it. You'll weight each of the readings. You'll detail what study hours that you want. It'll give you pathways. It'll tell you what are the optimal pathways, or how late you can start. If you only have 14 hours a week, you can start as late as July 2nd if you want to put in 250 hours. So this is a nice little grid here. And then it gives you a dashboard. It tells you it gives you a suggested order, but you can change it. You could just put the numbers 1 through 10 in each of these, and you could change the order. It tells you your start date, your end date, how many days you should spend on each section, based on the exam being December 5th, 2020. Once we know the date for sure, we'll update that date. There you go.